Go-to mortgages, start of year prediction. So usually Phil does these, but he's given me the responsibility this year. So I'm here in my woolly green jumper. It's very cold, to give you the prediction that I think might happen for 2026 from an economic and mortgage perspective. So if we cast our minds back to COVID, things were very volatile at that point and caused a lot of chaos within the economy, as we all know. Now, since then, we have had the war in Ukraine, which led to a bit of a cost of living crisis, was probably the main factor for that. And things have become very expensive for families in general. So we've seen a spike in interest rates. So mortgage rates for people had gone up, which means they were paying far more per month on their mortgage than they were previously. That was probably the main thing that ate into people's expenditure. However, there were things like petrol and food and all these things that we've all experienced, and heating, that have gone up. And because of that, what we found is that initially people have actually sucked it in quite well and been able to survive, because ultimately we all find a way, don't we? We all utilize credit, or we get second jobs, or whatever it might be. We find a way, even if it's just cutting back on luxuries, we find a way to get through. However, is that way always sustainable? Now, cost of living's been a factor for the last, well, it's still a factor today, it's been a factor for the last 3 years. And what we have found is there has been a bit of a hangover period where people are starting to struggle, and it's taking its toll on families and on individuals. So what we're finding today actually is that rates have come down over the last 2 to 3 years. So a number of you watching this video would have remortgaged in that period of time, and we would have been in touch with you and been able to have saved you money, which is fantastic. And that right today, we're still doing the same thing for people. So, I mean, the lowest 2-year fixed rates are around 3.7%. That's much better than where we were 2-3 years ago. We were at 5.5%, for example. So it's a big difference. Now, whether we go any further than that, we will have to see. My gut feel is that as long as the economy stays relatively calm, or as calm as it can be at the moment, we will continue to see slow rate reductions into 2026. I believe there is a thirst in the government to try and get mortgage rates down, and try and get that Bank of England base rate down. That would make a massive difference to people, and they know that. So I think that will continue to happen. What could cause that not to happen, of course, is another very volatile world event. So at the moment, as we know, Trump is out there causing chaos with Greenland and threatening tariffs and all these sort of things. Now, that sort of those world events, they do translate into the economy, and they can cause things like interest rate rises and possible issues. And that's what we're uncertain of. Obviously, as we speak, no one knows where that's going to go or what's going to happen there. But as long as we avoid any major world event, I think there will be a general appetite for the government to continue to try and get that interest rate, Bank of England base rate down, which will reflect into mortgage rates. So fingers crossed, we have another very good year. Because Labour came into the government as well, that slowed things down a little bit, because it was very uncertain as to what they would do within the economy and within the mortgage market. They were threatening quite a lot of changes with stamp duty, which ended up not happening. So actually, the back end of last year, we were quite quiet at times because people were holding off. And I'm sure a number watching this video have been holding off, ready for 2026. So I actually think, and we are predicting, that we're going to have a very busy year this year with new purchases, because we think a lot of people are going to be going out and looking to buy properties now, because the budget happened late last year and there was very little change from a mortgage perspective and from a home buying perspective. Stamp duty stayed the same. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be any more big changes in the housing market as such, and hopefully that gives people confidence to get out there, start looking, and we're already seeing it. We've had a very busy start to January, and it looks like it's definitely going to continue. As always, any questions, please do reach out to us and we will love to help as many of you again as we can in 2026.